Hello again, folks. This is Old Tom Gin here in close proximity with Codsworth. Pardon me. And this is our playthrough of, well, my playthrough. Codsworth doesn't count. Of Fallout 4 survival mode. Oh, I better get away from Preston before he asks me to join again. My permadeath run for survival mode. And last time we had a near-death experience at the hands of some very hard-hitting synths from the Institute. Our first encounter with synths while helping Paladin Dance. We also refused to join Paladin Dance's faction, the Brotherhood of Steel, because, no offense to you Brotherhood of Steel fans, but they're a little crazy.
Yeah.
They're a little extreme in their views, and we decided that I need to find my kid. Will someone clean up this body? Just Preston has no. I'm not going to join an organization where he can't even clean up his own doorstep. But we're done with that. A couple things that we left, questions we left with last time. One was, should I switch to an energy weapons build? Well, I mean, when I say an energy weapons build, I don't really need to make that decision immediately. Turns out I couldn't do that at the moment because I don't have a high enough intelligence. Duh. So I couldn't actually do what I was thinking about doing at the moment. So we're sticking with our current loadout, which is the 10mm pistol and sniper rifle. I have added a couple accoutrements to my survival pack here. Well, it's now my survival pack. It was my military backpack. Now it's my full-blown survival pack. Just mainly because it looks cool. And we're heading off toward Diamond City once more. Hopefully, we're going to make it all the way this time. That, of course, doesn't mean we're out of danger for the moment. We're going to head through some fairly risky territory. There is also always the possibility that there will be a surprise spawn somewhere that will ruin our day. Can totally happen. I'm still just as squishy as I was when that one shot from a synth almost killed me. I have increased my agility a little bit because, again, this is a VATS and sneak and VATS based build, so agility is key for me. I'm just gonna move on out here. So yeah, a couple more words about the energy weapons. It requires quite an investment to get the energy weapons to a place where they're really performing in a superior fashion to ballistic weapons, as I have now. And well, for one, the shorter answer is I couldn't do that right now because you need higher intelligence for science, and I didn't have high enough intelligence. I will for free when which I plan to do, hit up the Boston Public Library. We're going to go in there. We're going to study hard, learn more, get better. But for now, it didn't make sense to invest more points in that when I have perfectly viable weapons that don't require that investment. And that, of course, is one of the arguments against energy weapons as a whole, that they require a lot more focused investment of perks. From an early phase, a little more planning if you really want to make it work. And this, again, this has been serving me well. The 10mm has been serving me well. The sniper rifle, to the extent that I have been using it, has been serving me well. And we got to focus on what's important: stealth, agility. So building up perks for the energy weapons. In the short term, I kind of feel like it's a distraction that I can't afford. A distraction of sort of perk investment. It's a strange log that falls perfectly into the pavement. Very weird. The pavement was gooey at some point, apparently. Hey, maybe it was. Maybe after the bombs fell, it was gooey. Still, it's pretty crazy. So yeah, so we're holding off on that, and well, so far I'm pretty pleased with the 10mm. It's dealing with everything I'm asking it to deal with. And as I said, the goal of this playthrough is survival, right? So I can't afford to die even once, and to do that, that's about not being detected, and when I am detected, hit them and kill them before they can get a shot off at me. As we have seen, if they do get a shot off at me, I'm in big trouble. I'm sorry, Codsworth. I was missing your beautiful comment about the sunrise. That's why we turn on the subtitles, so that in case you're not interested in what I'm saying, you can listen to what Codsworth's saying. We're a team. We're like a radio duo. So hopefully this is the point at which we can actually not keep returning back to our sanctuary base. I mean, the goal, of course, is never to make sanctuary a permanent base, but at the beginning of the game, it just makes imminent amounts of sense to do so. It's you've got every kind of crafting station. It's a very safe zone, so you know you're not going to be interrupted and or killed while you're trying to craft something. Which, again, with the enhanced AI, there's certain places here on the map which are technically settlements that should be a quote-unquote safe zone. They're not safe. Not with enemies who, will march out of their spawn point and march right over to your zone. There are a couple like that even in the vanilla game where you'll notice that the settlement spawns way too close to an enemy spawn point. Let's go. Is there anything in here? It's just debris. I guess it's just debris. So here we are in a beautiful morning in the Commonwealth. Moving to the Corvega factory, which of course, as I mentioned, is a hotbed for raiders. Also, a little tidbit. Over here is a radroach. See that radroach? He's friendly. I'm not going to mess with that radroach. You know why? Because some of you may run into this fellow. There's a guy who is a great friend to radroaches. I can't remember his name. It's like Radroach Henry or something. And he is if you shoot the radroach, at some later point later in the game, he will appear and take vengeance upon you. And boy, can he take vengeance, folks. The guy is a crack shot. I don't want to mess with him. Leave the radroach alone. So yeah, so we're avoiding the factions, at least for the time being, at least until the, it may be an appropriate point in the story. Well, it will be an appropriate point in the story at some point. We will need help to get Sean back. And here again, I'm kind of weighing the practical concerns of the fact that this is a permadeath run and I can't afford to do wacky, crazy, insanely difficult quests versus the roleplay aspects where, what do I think that this character would actually do in a given situation? And for that reason, I'm torn on the Brotherhood of Steel. I mentioned before that they have access to vertibirds. That's pretty nice. But they also are pretty much one of the more deadly factions to join in terms of the difficulty of missions that they take on. I'm speaking very much in particular of a quest where you have to go to an island off the shore where super mutants are holed up and take away an armory from them. And that armory is chock full of fat men and ammo, mini nukes, and all this kind of stuff. But B, you have to fly in on a vertibird, and super mutants are more than capable of knocking a vertibird out of the sky. And I really don't want my permadeath playthrough to end on being killed in a vehicle that's completely out of my control. So that's one thing. There's a couple other quests in there that are actually quite difficult too. Now you notice, this is something I wanted to point out, just for no other reason at all. There's no vehicles in Fallout 4 other than vertibirds, right? There's no ground vehicles. Who made these tread marks? These tread marks are not 210 years old. They're just not. That's not how tread marks work. Who made the tread marks?
This is all much more exciting than domestic life, I
I just put that out there and let you consider that. I mean, is the idea that there are ground vehicles, we just never see them in the game? Is the idea that somehow the ground has been frozen in that state for 210 years? Not how mud works. What is this? What is this? Why is that area burning? This concerns me, folks. The tires are burning. Why? That looks like an encounter to me. That is extremely concerning to me. I don't want to get too close up to here because there's ghouls in the area and raiders up here, but I think I want to get under the shadow here. Detected by whom? Oh, a Brahmin. Okay, well. Even Brahmin can detect me. How stealthy can I be? Yeah, deeply concerning when I see something that's a little out of the ordinary here. What is up there? What is causing that? Oh, wait a minute. Now they're not burning? What? Okay. That's weird. Okay, so there's a little weirdness happening here. I cannot exactly account for it. Not really sure what caused that. If I make it through this alive and I'm not killed sucker punched by something, I'm definitely going to end up looking up burning tires near Cambridge. Because they disappear as you get closer. That's very strange. You see me going absolutely nuts with my VATS pinging. Oh, and let's not forget. Ah, damn it. This is exactly the kind of thing I was worried about. I was really, really, really hoping to use that bridge. I don't think I can. So what do we got there? Alright, see, we have right there an encounter of some kind between what appear to be raiders and some settlers. Now the game, they're just standing there waiting so far. There's a possibility here. Either they're friendly to start with, in which case the game has set up an encounter where you approach and then... I should stop metagaming so much. Basically, it's a situation maybe where I might approach these guys and they might end up being hostile. We might come to blows. It's very dangerous. Yeah, see, farmer, raider scum. But the raider scum are not hostile. So if I shoot the raider scum while they're not hostile, I mean, that has... that's considered an attack.
Well, hello there.
I don't know how Codsworth would feel about that. Probably not good. Meanwhile, I'll just collect from these guys here. So these are obviously some unfortunate fellows. I don't know whether the idea is that these guys were fighting and they were supposed to get killed by the mines that I collected, but they get killed anyway, and they spawn dead. I do not want to tangle with an encounter with... I mean, what do we got over there? We got Three Raider Scum. Raider Scum probably have damage mods, or damage perks. They could probably off me in a one-shot. Maybe even from this distance. They have pretty shitty pipe weapons, but still. Oh, man. And they're not hostile. So, I can't assume the way that thing's going to go down. For all I know, the farmers aren't farmers. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what's going on here? At most likely, it's a toll-taking scheme of some kind. But I'm not. I'm going to avoid it. I'm going to avoid it. I am not interested. Once in a great while, there's mines over here. So we have to... Yeah, that bridge, like I said, it's most of the time it is a great place to cross. But when those spawns happen on there, boy, it can be bad. Now, of course, now I'm taking a different route, which has its own dangers, because there's spawns that happen up around this road coming around Cambridge. Basically, as you cross the Charles, or come around the bend around the Charles, there is a spawn point up here. And there I go again. Things appear. I can't help it. I know the game too well. And, you know, let's face it. If you want to survive this game, you better know the area intimately. You cannot go blindly through the game and survive, unless you're just the luckiest son of a bitch on earth. Now, with my luck, it's going to be a Mr. Gutsy or a legendary super mutant or God knows what over here. But yeah, some of this is luck, folks. Some of this is... I'm doing everything I can to minimize the risk, but you never know, really, what you're going to run into on the road. And I'm in luck, because the person I'm running into is the scribe.
Good day to you, stranger. You look like someone that appreciates the utility of a good set of armor.
I do indeed. I'm always looking for good armor.
My selection is a bit limited right now, but take a look.
His selection is indeed a bit limited. And I'm not going to do any of this right now because I will transition to metal armor if I end up gathering some legendary items that are quite good, but they don't make a lot of sense now because I already have my shadowed mods. They give me bonuses to stealth and bonuses to defense. I think I'm going to stick with those. It's the field scribe's armor, which is interesting, but the problem with that stuff is it really doesn't have that good defense, and you can't mod it. That's another reason I kind of annoys me that the Brotherhood, by default, at least in the vanilla game, they can't use ballistic armor because ballistic weave, because of course they would. Of course they would have it. It's not that high tech. In any event, the old scribe doesn't have a lot that I want. But it is, yeah, I wonder what his story is, though, because that's always fascinating to me. Who is the scribe? Ah, here is an interesting thing. This was a late edition. It is a tunnel. And this tunnel will provide me with an opportunity of not crossing the bridge where the wreck of the Riptide or whatever it is located. And does this make the game a little bit easier for me? Tiny, tiny bit. But mainly, it's I installed it a long time ago because I just wanted some way to get back and forth more efficiently after the uh, the main quest is completed. But it's can be quite handy. Always pull out more buckets. And all it really does is give me another route back and forth. It's not particularly nuts. Oh, greaser jacket and jeans. That's always welcome. I like that outfit. Then again, I don't like adolescent death claws, who could murder me very easily. And by the way, they're small enough to get through inside things. So, to hex with that. To hex with that. We're not going through the tunnel. So as you can see, the tunnel is nice. Does it make my life easier? No. Not in the least. So I'm going to eat some mutton chops and continue on my merry way. And we'll just pause briefly here. Okay. Just a quick drink break. Again, just because of the nature of the random spawns and the fact that there's AI that is, different from the vanilla game, I tend to want to, I'm going to tend to want to pause for the simplest things, like taking a sip of my drink. It's just safer that way. But yeah, I installed that actually, to give me another way to cross the Charles River when the main quest is completed, and some of the local geography here will not be quite the same. Not considering this specifically for this playthrough, but yeah, I had forgotten that it's not for free. It's not for free. There are threats in there, dangerous, dangerous threats. And as you saw, that adolescent Deathclaw, simple as he is, has that little red skull next to him. He can end my day very easily. So, I'm not going to mess with him. I'll take my chances sneaking by the raiders who inhabit this wrecked boat over here and the various barges they put together. This is, however, there's these circumstances that those couple of random encounters there, they have made my entrance into Diamond City much, much riskier. Especially because, as we know, we're playing with a mod that makes the enemy a lot more perceptive. And an explosive just went off. That's really terrifying. Very carefully make our way over here, not moving too fast as to not attract too much attention. what I'm really concerned about here is that it's not just raiders we have back there. They have an attack dog, I believe, who on occasion will spot me and whoever I'm traveling with, even when the raiders don't. Only advantage of coming this way, only advantage, is that it means we avoid the sort of perennial battle royale that takes place typically over there. Ah, but we see another battle royale, or here, is taking place up here. In fact, we're thick with voices and gunfire around here. It's pretty dangerous stuff. There's the entrance to Hangman's Alley. We'll be paying a visit to Hangman's Alley sooner or later, if I don't die right here. Oh, that sounds intense. That does not sound good. Alright, Codsworth. Wow, the raiders have detected Codsworth. That's not good. Again, why am I traveling with a companion? Holy smoke, that is not good. Boy, I'm glad I delayed coming up here. And I don't hear any more gunfire. That's not a good sign. So this is a battle between the Diamond City Security, who are also pretty goddamn tough, and the Super Mutants. It looks like the Diamond City Security has already won, but I'm not exactly sure. You can't be sure. Oh yeah, they did. They won. They're not getting shot at. I'm more than happy to help them out. But it doesn't look like that was necessary. This, by the way, if you're playing with mods, this is a terrific, terrific place to test out mods and how, well, I say test out. What do I mean by that? Wow, that's a pretty gruesome... Wow, they must have really blown the hell out of those guys. Blew them right across there. This is a great place to try out, or to look at when you're trying to see whether mods have, what kind of effects they have on the game. What I mean by that is, I mentioned in a previous... oh, it was a suicider, that's what blew up. I mentioned in a previous session that I tried a couple mods that ended up, in my opinion, having unintended consequences that I did not like. Right? In particular, I was thinking of the... what the heck is this? I don't think I've ever... I didn't know you could go back here. I definitely don't want to go over there. I know that's more mutant territory. I could have sworn this was blocked off. I guess it's not. I mentioned the mod once more that changed the way ammo works. In other words, it made NPCs use ammo. Sounds like a great idea. Sounds like a nice immersive idea. Has a couple unintended consequences. One of the unintended consequences it had was the Diamond City security guys very quickly and almost always ran out of ammo. The Super Mutants then proceeded to beat on them in melee. And as you might expect, Super Mutants are actually quite good at melee, so they made short work of them. And we're going to pause briefly right here, and we will be back in a second. Okay, we are back, and we have gotten, I think, most of the stuff off this Super Mutant here. And there's a couple more goods here. I'm a little disappointed I didn't get to at least take a crack at the Super Mutants. I do. It's kind of my first, it's finally your first encounter with them in the game, unless you're unlucky enough to meet them, like, early on in the game in Sanctuary, which is, you know, actually quite unfortunate, because if you meet them too early on, they kind of, they're quite dangerous to you. But it's kind of a controlled environment where you can meet with them. We are also joined, by the way, today by a kitten, who is very pleased to be joining us for this playthrough. I Actually, very pleased just to be here. You can probably hear the kitten making its presence known. So there we go. That's what I was looking for. And I think there's one or two other things I can collect here. I have to be careful here, though, because there's more super mutant territory right down there, and I don't want to tangle with any more of them. And again, in this mode, they will, and the style I'm playing, they will certainly find their way to me if I'm not careful. I was always frustrated you couldn't get this army helmet off this guy. I'm like, it looks to be in perfectly good condition. Why can't I get that one? But you can't. All right, now I should go back and go back downstairs, retrieve Codsworth, and get the hell into the safety of Diamond City. So yeah, kind of an unusual. Is there a mine over here? There used to be a mine over here. Nope. Yes, not. Oh, let's retrieve our robot. Good part about leaving Codsworth here is if a raider did come to attack him, most likely Diamond City security would take them out. It's kind of astounding that they tolerate the existence of those raiders so close, but hey, you know, they're not known for their competence. Oh, one of the mods that is here in the game, which I really do appreciate, is again that Diamond City security get combat rifles. They don't get pipe weapons. I think this is a fine change. It always did bug me that basically that they, you know, Diamond City, the biggest settlement in the Commonwealth, couldn't afford anything better for their security force. When they can make Mark II automated turrets to defend the town, but they're giving them crappy pipe weapons. Come on, guys. I mean, just cricket comes through town literally once every other day. Surely you guys could save up for some decent weapons. And of course, here is Piper.
Stop playing around, Danny. I'm standing out in the open here, for crying out loud.
I got orders not to let you in, Miss Piper. I'm sorry. I'm just doing my job.
Ooh, just doing your job. Protecting Diamond City means keeping me out, is that it? Oh, look, it's the scary reporter. Boom.
I'm sorry, but Mayor McDonough's really steamed, Piper. Saying that article you wrote was all lies. The whole city's in a tizzy.
Ugh. You open this gate right now, Danny Sullivan. I live here. You can't just lock me out. Open up. You want into Diamond City, right?
I just got here, but yeah.
Shh. Play along. What's that? You said you're a trader up from Quincy? You have enough supplies to keep the general store stocked for a whole month? You hear that, Danny? You gonna open the gate and let us in, or are you gonna be the one talking to crazy Myrna about losing out on all the supply?
Jeez, all right. I need to make it personal, Piper. Give me a minute.
Better head inside quick before old Danny catches on to the bluff.
If Danny fell for that bluff in the first place, I'm pretty sure he won't catch on. Sounds good. Let's go.
Another great day in Diamond City.
A lot of people despise Piper. I don't despise her. I think that some of her initial dialogue is pretty cheesy, but, you know, I also don't think she's really that good of a reporter.
Who let you back inside?
She definitely has a point of view which she's pushing.
The level of
she happens to be right, of course.
Paper of yours. I'll have that printer scrapped for parts.
Mr. McDonough? Tyrant mayor shuts down the press. Why don't we ask the newcomer? You support the news? Because the mayor's threatening to throw free speech in the dumpster.
Always believed in freedom of the press.
Rightly so. A true medium for the people.
Oh, I didn't mean to bring you into this argument, good sir. No, no. You look like Diamond City material. Welcome to the great green jewel of the Commonwealth. Safe, happy, a fine place to come. Spend your money, settle down. Don't let this muckraker here tell you otherwise, all right?
I'm sure your city's a great place.
Yeah, greatest house of cards in the Commonwealth. Until the wind blows.
Now, was there anything particular you came to our city for?
I'm trying to find
Trying
someone.
to find someone? Who?
My son, Sean. He's less than a year old.
Wait, your son's missing? Oh, you hear that, McDonough? What's Diamond City Security doing to help this man, huh? This isn't the first missing persons report to come through here, and now we have an infant who's been taken?
Don't listen to her. Well, I'm afraid that our security team can't follow every case that comes through. I'm confident that you can find help here. Diamond City has every conceivable service known to man. One of our great citizens can surely find the time to help you.
The mayor of a great city must know everyone. Who can help me?
Well, there is one private citizen, Nick Valentine, a detective of sorts who specializes in tracking people down, usually for debts or whatnot. Now, I have to get going. I'm sorry, Diamond City Security doesn't have time to help, but I'm sure Mr. Valentine charges a reasonable fee.
This is ridiculous. Diamond City Security can't spare one officer to help? I want the truth, McDonough. What's the real reason security never investigates any
I've
kidnappings?
had enough of this, Piper. From now on, consider you and that little sister of yours on notice.
Yeah, keep talking, McDonough. That's all you're good for. I'm impressed. Not everyone can claw information out of McDonough's tight-fisted hands. Why don't you stop by my office after you see Valentine? I think I just found my next story.
So there we go. We have found our way to Diamond City safely. At least a place where we can not panic about getting shot in the back every few seconds. At least not most of the time. Little side note, when the Diamond City guards do die in this encounter, I almost always, I must admit, take their umpire padding, because it actually can be modified to be pocketed, just like a leather chest piece, and actually has better protection for less weight. So a little inside tidbit there.
So, this is the famous Diamond City. I suppose I hope to find more of a gem than a dusty home base. Civilization in the rough, if you will.
Tell me about it. I always, hoped to have more actual inhabitants in Diamond City, but it's a Bethesda game. So here we are. There's Nat. And here is the first gentleman we want to see.
Anyone is one of those things. It's that secretary of his.
Nothing to see here.
Her and her perfect hair. I cut her hair myself.
Dr. Sun.
A new file to open. Do you have a legitimate medical concern? Or is this about a facial reconstructive services?
Yeah, take a look at me, Doc.
What's feeling off today? What can you tell me?
Well, I got two problems, Doc. One, I've got some radiation, which I want to get rid of without depressing my immune
All right,
system.
let's flush your system.
Great, super.
And that's that. Anything else bothering you?
Well, now that the radiation's gone, I noticed a couple of bruises and scratches I'd like to be cured, so please, could you help me? I'm not
Yes,
hurting all over.
indeed.
I refuse to say the dialogue
Probably a
for
good
that
idea.
because it doesn't match reality. one of the frequent reasons to go here to the dock is for
And that's that.
getting infections
Anything
removed,
else
actually.
bothering you?
I would like to... oh, I can't get it from this menu, so okay, nothing. I'm good.
Off you go then.
Well, hold on a second, Doc. Let me talk to you
This
one
better be
more
an
time.
emergency.
It's not an emergency so much as I want to give you money.
Let's see what I can spare.
Luckily, the doctor is basically completely forgetful. So we're gonna buy some antibiotics here. I think just one for now because they are pricey after all. How many stim packs do I have? Might be able to actually sell him a few things. Tempted to sell him those useless antimicrobials. Things barely work. Yeah, I can actually sell him a few stim packs. Not many, mind you, but just you know, in this mode, you really have way more than you're ever going to use. So let's make our way around the Diamond City Market and see what we can see, shall we? Here is a home plate, a player house, which I have never, ever used. Never set foot in it. It just not of interest to me. Why? Because I don't know. I like having my house in the world, not in this having to go through a transition and then another transition to get to my house. It annoys me.
You? I don't know you. Just keep your distance.
Keep calm. I'm standing still.
That's exactly what a synth would say. But I don't know. Are you really human?
Human as the day I was born.
Well, you do look human enough. But I'll be watching you. I have eyes like a... Well, they're good eyes. Got it? All right. We can do business, but no funny stuff.
Let's see what you got.
Everything you need.
I will be the judge of that, but okay. Let's see. What is Myrna got here? Well, of course, you know, we can pick up our typical always pick up items. Let's see if there's anything truly interesting in here. No, yeah, just the Wonder Glue and whatnot. So you know, nothing too crazy. She does have a few other things, I believe. Oh, white mining helmet. That's I don't need that, but it's fascinating. I'll tell you what, I sure would like to get that Wastelander's chest piece, but I don't know if I can. Well, maybe I can. I afford it. Let's see. What can we sell? What can we sell out of what we've got here? I've got a whole bunch of stuff that I barely ever use. Well, I just mentioned those stim packs. You collect stim packs like like they're going out of style here in this game. I could easily sell half of them. Okay, well that's 277 coming to me. That's still not enough to buy that thing. Let's see what else I can sell here. It would put me low on jet, but I could sell some of these. After all, I haven't been using those drugs anytime recently. Sell some Radaway. That pretty much does it. But let's see if we can. I want a little bit of money left in my pocket. Interesting. Wait a minute. It's not what I expected to happen there. What am I doing wrong here? So she doesn't have the gold for this. The gold. There I go again. The caps for this particular trade. What am I doing wrong? So this thing is 1058. And what I have is I'm going to gain that much. Usually it'll equalize the balance sheet pretty quickly, but it doesn't look like it did that here. All right, so I need to sell more stuff, I guess. What else can I sell? That's not going to do it. Basically, none of this stuff is really worthwhile. I think it's going to have to be more drugs, folks. We're going to have to sell our drugs, which is okay. There we go. So now we have 16 whole caps to our name. Not terrific. I mean, I know where we can get some more pretty quickly, but I think that was essential. We had to do that. I really needed to do that because that is a great item, a terrific item. So we're going to quickly make this standard. Beautiful thing about leather armor is you can just remove.
Ah, is that a Protectron over there?
Go talk to him, Codsworth.
Good to see another robot in town.
Oh, it's studded leather. Well, I'm going to make it. Oh, interesting. It's got its own little things here. I'm going to change it over.
Right here.
I'm going to make it pocketed. Biocom mesh does what exactly? Oh, increases the duration of chems. I have no interest in that. So we'll just make it pocketed. And I think that's it. That's all I need to do. And then I will add that to my repertoire here. So there we go. We're now going up to an impressive 61 energy defense, 46 ballistic, 15 radiation. I am pretty happy. Of course, Codsworth. Sure, what's up?
Oh, just a little something I'd like to get off the old proverbial chest. I just want to say what an honor it is for me to accompany you. You've no idea the horror these past 2 centuries have wrought. The initial destruction, not knowing if you and your family were all right. It was a relief just to find the entrance intact.
I'm sorry, Codsworth, it was so sudden. Not even time for goodbyes.
Not a single worry, sir, as I shared your priorities completely.
Hello, random person. Photobombing.
All else. And yes, while it was hard at first, I was able to eventually move on. At first, it was the work. Busying myself day and night, and believe me, there was plenty of it. But eventually, the work became light chores.
Yeah, I could tell from the condition of the house.
My memories, sir. Memories of you and the missus, young Shaw. Of your love and kindness. I soldiered on, fueled by hope that one day, if not you and the wife, that Sean, or perhaps Sean's children, would one day emerge.
I'm sorry it took so long. I only wish we could have all gotten out as a family.
As do I, sir. As do I. It is unfortunate. I just wanted you to know how much I consider you family. I may be a mere robot to some, but I do hope you've come to see me as more.
I consider you to be family too, Codsworth. We're in this world for the long haul, together.
Mr. Thomas, you don't know how wonderful it is for me to hear that. I feel completely recharged. Well, enough blither-blather from me. Let's get back to it, shall we?
Indeed, let's get back to it. So we now have a Wastelander's chess piece, which is a great little addition, because if you look, we just take a quick look at our stats. We now have a 7 perception and a 7 agility. So that's pretty darn nice, considering that our emphasis in this is the VATS build. Of course, it also takes a little bit of pressure off of putting those up. Hey, not so fast, buddy. I'm getting in here.
What's with you vault dwellers in those jumpsuits, huh?
They're comfortable. They're self-cleaning. I'm just making that up. I have no idea if they're self-cleaning. cooking our meat at the public cookery here. But yeah, so that takes a little pressure off having to push up those attributes right away, which allows us to potentially put more into luck, which we're going to want to do to increase those criticals sooner or later. So I suppose it's a good time for a noodle cup, and what else? Maybe some crispy squirrel bits.
Got a free workbench for all your modifications. Scopes, clip sizes, barrels. It's the new guy. That's you, right?
Yep, I'm the new guy.
Well, it's good to have you here. Name's Arturo Rodriguez. If you need protection, let's talk.
All right, let's take a look.
Everything hand-tooled.
I don't know if Arturo actually has anything I want right now. I mean, big boy is quite something. But he's a little bit beyond my range right now. I mean, that's quite a price to go with what it is. But yes, anything that shoots an extra projectile is very welcome. Old Faithful also pretty damn good weapon, but again, can't modify it quite yet because I don't have the perks quite yet. So we'll get there. We'll get there. I will consider it. You know, I don't have to make any. It's not like I have to make any permanent decisions over energy weapons versus guns, but we'll see. It also a lot depends on, you know, what other kind of weapons I should come up with in my travels. These are pretty good. The Protector's arm guards, they're all right. But I don't think there's anything I really need now. Yeah, I think we're good. Of course, I have. Oh, I know what I should do right now. Before it gets too late. What time is it after all? 7:52. I might have just enough time to get there before they close. I want to go visit the Science Center.
Can't believe you eat that food. Nothing to see here. Only one thing worth buying in the dugout inn. And that's the booze.
Is the Science Center open? And when I say that, what I really mean is Science Center. Codsworth, give me the... Oh, maybe... Oh, you don't have it. I must have it. Let's get into the Science Center before they close.
Professor, I have a new theory about how the Institute makes the synths.
Oh no. We've been talking about this, remember? After last time, the shouting, me sleeping on the cold floor of the lab for 3 nights.
That was your choice.
And seriously, growing synths from the ground using recombinant plant nuclei? I mean, how could they even...
Aha! You do want to talk about it.
Oh, look. We have a visitor. Dr. Duff, dear. If you could bother them while I walk away from this conversation.
Hi there. Are you here for today's free biology lesson?
Sure.
Yes. Love that enthusiasm. Now, we all talk about radiation like it's a single thing, but it's actually a term referring to dozens of different ionizing rays. You have X-rays, beta rays, gamma rays, but which one are we most worried about? The one most associated with the big old bombs 200 years ago.
Gamma rays?
That's right. Now, gamma rays are bad. Really bad. If your body absorbs too much of that kind of radiation, you'll suffer from fatigue, anemia, even death. But some life forms have been living with gamma radiation exposure for 2 centuries now, and they've adapted. Neat, huh?
Yeah, very interesting.
Science is all
Not
about.
strictly
Nothing
correct,
stays
but
the same.
okay.
Everything reacts. Now it's time for the field trip portion of today's lesson. Are you ready?
Sure.
You're
Sign me
gonna
up.
go out and find a bloatfly gland. You see, the oversized bloatfly of today evolved from an earlier species of a smaller fly. Radioactive adaptation has resulted in a unique gland that enables it to balance and maintain speed despite its size. So what do you say? Ready to go out and dissect one?
You're in luck. I already have one.
That a boy? Who's my favorite junior scientist? You are. Here's a little something for you. Don't spend it all in one place.
So yes, all of that rather silly conversation just so I could get my paws on 100 gold, which I really needed because I just spent all of 100 gold. There I go again. I'm incapable of distinguishing clinky things. 100 caps. So yeah, so I'm not completely freaking destitute. So that's, you know, that's a good thing. So what time is it now? It's 8:53 p.m.
Nothing to see here.
I should probably go. Well, for game purposes, for make sure I have a save game,
Oh man, you got a robot butler?
and B, to ensure that I don't get tired in the middle of my next quest, I should probably go to the Dugout Inn. It'd be nice to sleep in a semi-civilized location. I mean, if the Dugout Inn counts for that purpose. But, oh, by the way, the it's not exactly correct what the old Science Center said. Gamma rays are produced indeed in atomic reactions and definitely in nuclear blasts, but it is actually beta particles, which are...
We need to have a conversation.
That's like 2 out of 10 points of danger.
Do I know you?
No. But I've heard of you. I'm always looking for people who know how to handle themselves in dangerous situations.
Never mind, I'll handle it myself.
What's the job?
Whatever needs to be done once my boss has had a look at you. I can assure you that it will be dangerous. And that you'll be paid fairly.
No, thank you. I have my own problems to worry about.
You know your own business. If you change your mind, look me up at Cabot House, Beacon Hill. Ask for Edward Deegan.
You have marvelous bone structure. Stop by the mega surgery sometime.
Yeah. So there's Edward Deegan. Interesting quest, but probably not what I'm going to be doing. I don't know.
Where did they take? I killed a man for it. No, I kid. He is dead, though. Now, let me know when you're ready to order.
So this is your bar, huh?
Great it is. My brother Yefim and I make the best moonshine in the entire Commonwealth. We call it Bobrov's Best. Had to start renting out rooms just so customers had a place to safely pass out after drinking it.
I'll take a look, sure.
To my ears.
Probably won't buy anything from old Vadim, but I like Vadim just fine. I think he's hilarious. And of course, he also is a quest giver for a particular quest, which I will almost certainly do. Not going to do, as I said, Edward Deegan's quest because it involves a lot of close quarters fighting with enemies who are hopped up on a particularly unusual drug / enhancement, and it's pretty dangerous. It's a very dangerous quest, and it's very easy for it to go very horribly wrong. It also takes place in an area where there's a Deathclaw very much nearby, and I have absolutely no interest in getting into Deathclaw confrontations right now if I can avoid them. So I won't do that one. The quest that Vadim offers has to do with our dear, of course, radio DJ, and is really one of my favorite little side quests in the game, if only because of the voice acting. Not also somewhat dangerous, but manageable. So we'll probably be doing that. But at the moment, I don't have... Vadim doesn't have anything I want, really. It's a shame to me, though, that you can't actually feed dog food to dog meat. Like, why can't you feed your dog? You should be able to do that in the game.
It's one of them fancy robots.
General Atomic's finest. Thank you very much.
I also always like bringing Codsworth here because he has commentary for the team, or for the residents here, patrons.
Customer. Need a room?
Yeah, here's your money.
You're in room 2, just through the door.
How are these two guys brothers? Twin brothers. Why don't you open the door for me, Codsworth? Your manservant programming is failing. And here we are. Our yeah, not great, not great, but hey, it's a room. It's a room, folks. It's a room. And the point is that I can sleep. I don't think I've been. Well, he probably won't sleep. He'll sleep a long time. I think we've had a very long couple of days here between our near-death experience at the hands of the synths to the near-death experiences finding baby death claws in the sewers. Good morning, Codsworth. And I think this would be an appropriate place to take a quick break, and then we will see about pursuing our quest. Because again, we're here, man. We're here in Diamond City, and we're not in the mood to get distracted by any side quests right now. We want to find the detective so we can find our damn son. So let's go do that next. But I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break, and then we will return. This, of course, is Old Tom Jin, and this is my playthrough of Fallout 4 Survival Mode, my permadeath run. We'll be right back.